Hello and welcome back to Trails Through Daybreak. So in the last episode, we basically went to help Quatre because he went into a mine and the lights started flickering and he was being attacked by monsters and what he called us. So we ran in there, helped him, kind of got friendly with him because of that. And he's clearly going to be a party member. He's in the menu. I could upgrade his equipment and stuff. It's going to happen. But right now he's gone. He basically helped us get access to the Institute of Science. So we upgraded our cards and took the tram. And now we're going to go investigate this professor more. This abusive professor. I keep forgetting that is our goal because it keeps getting put off. Hey, Alvis, any luck with that job I gave you? Wait, what? You're still not done? What were you... taking care of some kids? I mean... Okay, I guess that's fair. Anyway, I've got another job for you. Yeah, I saw somebody looking suspicious out on the edge of town. Could you have a look around and see if you can find anything? Thanks. Give Regina my regards, too. No need to go overboard. It might just be nothing, but better safe than sorry, of course. I'll head back to the guild in about 30. Okay, got it. You can fill me in once you get back.
Alrighty. Alright.
Nothing new? This institute ain't gonna wait for us. What's that mean? What does that mean? We can't even leave. Got anything to say here? Okay. No one on that side. Let's just head in then. Coolidge. I thought Athena might be here by now, but nope, no sign of her. She's a shy one, is the thing. I was hoping it'd go smoothly since the higher-ups are all on board with it, but evidently not. And I get she's nervous, but really, there's nothing for her to worry about. She just needs to relax. Though, she did say she was working on some other project, too. Maybe she's just really busy? Oh, so he's talking about the other girl we helped with the Hollow Core. The net is pretty widespread now, but international calls can still have a lot of kinks to work out. It can make meetings a bit difficult. We're working with Vern to make a new comms protocol that maximizes bandwidth and makes those long-distance calls easier. I was hoping Athena would be here by now, but she seems to be busy with something else. Maybe I should send her a message, just in case. She is quite busy. Alright, nothing over here. Just a really empty, cool courtyard. I would definitely hang out here. I'd probably love to be at this institute. Well, minus the stress that they seem to be putting on everyone. It just has a good vibe
this
to it.
Campus is just as big as I expected.
Let's take a look around. Gotta check out all the spots that kid mentioned.
You sure do. Clerk? Oliger? Clerk? Is there no desks around here? Welcome to the Basel Institute of Science. Are you here to speak with researchers or students here? We're a bit busier than usual, pardon us. We have a number of students visiting at the moment, but if there's anything I can help you with, please do let me know.
Very well.
The hallway behind me leads to a special research building. That building is off limits, I'm afraid. The Institute conducts confidential research there. If you have any business with the staff inside, the guard will be happy to help you. Oh, okay. So that's off limits. Let's go this way. Professor Cronkite's theses are like these windows into the future. It's crazy just how smart he is. His foresight really helps him get ahead of the curve and develop new technologies before people even realize they need them. I doubt I'll ever be half the scholar he is, but I really want to learn what I can from him all the same. Dad's factory is a relic of the past. It has nothing to do with me, and I have no reason to cling to it. Okay, this is, what's-his-face's son. Starts with a G. That's all I know. Actually, I don't even know if that's correct. I wish Dad wasn't so darn stubborn. All I'm saying is that he should be more forward-thinking. But nope, he's always trying to push the factory onto me, trying to tie me down to his old business. Time marches on. If he doesn't get with the times, they'll leave him behind. I hear ya. That is the world of
Well,
art, unfortunately. Hi. Oh, hello, everyone. I didn't think I'd run into you all here. We just finished touring the Epstein Foundation and ZCF branches here, so now we're taking a brief tour of the Institute. There's really not much we can do, though, since we can't attend any of the lectures here. Being honest, it's rather boring. Boring for you, maybe. You sound like you already know about a lot of the stuff here. We're not as encyclopedic as you know? All this Epstein and ZCF stuff is brand new to me. She's just full of secrets, isn't she? But hey, we got to see and learn some really cool stuff because of it. Ren said she might have something extra special for us after we're done here, too. Might is the key word, mind. I can't make any promises. What did she mean by that? Beats me. I'm not too worried about her. Let her do her thing, and us do ours. I don't know, but I'm hoping that she called up Tita, and Tita's just going to show up out of nowhere.
The Epstein Foundation was really something special. We got to hear lots of interesting stories about the ZCF's branch, too. Ren said that her best friend works there, even. She has so many of those connections. It's really mysterious, but hey, I'm not complaining.
So, how's everything been going on your end, Anyas? If it all gets to be too much, you can just join back up with us, okay? Miss Perfect is Miss Popular, too, huh?
Thanks, Albert, but I'm fine right now, honestly.
Well, all right. Glad to hear it. Just, I worry sometimes. So there's some dangerous stuff out there, so don't go charging in into all that, okay? We'll always be here for you.
Okay. He did promise me earlier, but I can't guarantee it'll happen just yet. You never know with how plans can change. Still, I can hardly think of a place in Basel I'm more interested in, so it's worth a shot.
Oh? Oh. I don't know what she has up her sleeve. Maybe the observatory? Moritz. Ha! A success! That was a super quick reaction there. Way quicker than I expected. That bodes well. Means it's even more flammable than I first thought. I've got a winner on my hands. Just gonna take a swig of my special juice to recharge, and then I'll be right back in action. He produces a vial of something from his coat pocket, and downed it with gusto. Woo! Yeah, oh yeah, I can feel my cells supercharging. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? Controlled substance? Pfft, no worries there. Can't be controlled if it's not for human consumption in the first place. What? I'm onto something with this, I swear. It's the perfect pick-me-up after my explosion tests. It was meant to be, I tell you. What are you doing? What's Professor Aurelie's problem? I asked to study under, and she dismisses me like, you're just an arsonist in a lab coat? What's so wrong about that? It's art. What's more beautiful than great balls of fire? Oh boy. That's what chemistry boils down to. It's the subtle art of making things go boom. Surely a fellow alchemist would understand that. Bah.
Very well.
How are you still allowed to work here? Or, well, no, he seems like a student. How are you allowed to attend here? All right, there's one more person downstairs and then one upstairs, and then we can do story. Lionel. It's such a shame the wonders of fungus go unrecognized. I've been trying to secure funding for my research, but to no avail. And I swear my lab is the only one in the entire biochem building that gets so routinely snubbed. What gives? And Professor Esmeré and Professor Aurelie, they're just swimming in grants. But the limitless potential of fungi goes untapped for another day. Woe is me. I just don't understand it. Time and time again, they go unnoticed. Not even Tane has anything nice to say about them. What is this? Some bizarre prejudice? Anti-fungism? Is there really no one else on this earth who appreciates them like I do? I guess not. I sure don't. Unless we're talking about mushrooms, which... I don't know. I'm talking normal mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms. Normal mushrooms on pizza. Not that there's, you know what, it doesn't matter. I know most people absolutely hate eating mushrooms.
All right.
And I can't see it. I used to hate mushrooms on any food, and now I just kind of can't get enough. And it's really weird because they're not. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't make any sense. It feels like they should never be on anything, but then it's not bad. I don't know. My mind is a bit lost at the moment. I'm just stuck in now I'm kind of hungry. I've heard so much about this Institute of Science, and I must say it does live up to its reputation. It's the highest seat of learning in Calvard, after all. You have many of the country's brightest minds all under one roof. We won't be able to see the entire building in one trip, but I hope I can at least catch the highlights while we're here. Oh man, the Epstein tour was out of this world. I got to see some vintage memory quartz in there. How far we've come, huh? I didn't know that photos and videos were first developed for astronomy, but soon enough it branched out into other things, and that led to orbital films as we know them today. It's just so cool to see how the medium took off. I'm glad to hear you're having fun. You bet. I know you're busy with work and all, but you should see the sights yourself, Agnes.
Well,
I heard the Institute has the largest astral observatory in all of Calvard. I really want to go and see that now. Would we even be allowed inside, though? I think that's what Ren's up to. Just trying to get them in there. Yo, Julian, did you get a look at that researcher who just walked by? She was a total knockout. She had that science-y look to her with the glasses and messed up hair. Oh, that's woman in white lab coat that we met earlier. It's not just me dreaming, is it? We gotta be a match. Huh? Sorry, I have no idea what you're on about. Is she more beautiful than that Aerotram attendant you were fawning over half an hour ago? Dude, everybody here is a 10. There's something about this town, I swear. It's awakening something in me. Lyle, maybe quit while you're ahead. I always assumed the Institute was full of dudes. I didn't know there'd be so many chicks here, too. And man, some of them are bombshells. Alright, that settles it. I'm applying to this place. Alright. You're not thinking with the right head. Oh, there are more people than I thought. Oh, here's Aureli. Aureli? Aureli. Doesn't matter. I don't know which one to enunciate on. I worry for her. I really do. But I just don't have the time to check up on her. Next time I see her, I think I'll recommend her these vitamins I like. I was on the advisory board for them, actually. I do worry about how she's the only woman on her team. I don't want her to feel afraid to speak her mind on things. Who? I don't even know why I read that. There was no descriptive tags attached. Professor Callahan's kind of freaking me out nowadays. All the other professors say he's a really nice guy, though. They talked about how he used to help mentor younger researchers at the Institute. Are they really talking about the same guy, though? All I get from him are evil glares, like he's fed up with me already. Yeesh. Seeing those wide-eyed Aramis students visiting brings back memories. I came to visit when I was younger, just like them. Crazy how young they look. I'm only 2 or 3 years older than them. I wonder if I looked like that young when I visited, too? Their uniforms are really cute. Maybe that's what it was. Wait, am I ogling them? No bad thoughts, bad thoughts. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Alright, who are you? Gimbet. One of my papers was published in the scientific journal Formula last month. It was about a hypothetical social experiment where you gather big data from personal computers and use data science to crunch the numbers. I'm honored that the scientific community received it so well. Even Professor Cronkite gave it a thumbs up. And I still want to explore that concept some more, though. I I really want to use one of those giant orbital calculators they have in the labs here, but I just can't, and that really grinds my gears. Oh yeah?
Well,
I want to put my paper to practice, but consumer-grade computers just don't have the power for it. I tried making a super optimized program for a number crunching I needed, but that still wasn't enough. I need something bigger. I really wish I could use the lab facilities, but they don't open those up to freshmen. I have to wait for those. I'm just dying to get my hands on one of those huge orbital calculators already. Damn, he really wants them. Also, who gave you evil glares? Professor Callahan. He might be the abusive professor then? Oh, damn. Oh, that goes to the observatory. Okay. Tane. Network engineering is my forte, but I do a lot of work with the civil engineering guys, too. Earthquake resistance, grid planning, that sort of thing. Professor Callahan in particular, he's been a big help to me. He's been awfully irritable lately, but he's a good person deep down. Maybe he just needs a drink or two to unwind. The orbital network is essential infrastructure now, and the cities need to be designed around it. Network signal needs to reach every nook and cranny of the city, so that's a lot of cables, a lot of antennas, lots of planning. The computer science students here have been a big help with modernizing the grid. Okay, that's two people to mention Callahan's being irritable, which makes me think, all right, I'm going to run downstairs and talk to the last person. He's clearly, we haven't done any of the story talking yet, but he's clearly the central focus probably on that. This door here leads to the special research building. They do a lot of top secret research in there, so it's closed to the general public. Seems this building requires a higher security clearance than the rest of the city. Top secret, huh? Sounds like the perfect place to harass your coworkers and get away with it. Wouldn't jump to conclusions, but yeah, it's worth looking into. Let's ask around and see what people around here know. I work as an assistant in Professor Arquette's lab over there. I've noticed some troubling things coming out of the other labs, though. This one woman, she looked absolutely drained every day. I wish there was something I could do to help her, but I really shouldn't go butting into other labs' business. And I just hope that she has someone she can talk to, be it a coworker, a professor, or something. That's a bit fishy there. I might have to ask him about that.
can we talk?
Workplace harassment. Goodness. I've heard these bits and pieces, but I'm a bit nervous to talk about it.
We won't tell anyone, don't worry. Anything helps.
I've heard a loud shouting from one of the other labs, yes. It's stunned me out of my work I was doing. The work. I heard stuff like, "You idiots, can't you do anything right?" And "You're a disgrace to the Institute, get out." That was the first cutscene we saw in the beginning of the chapter. I forgot about that. I don't remember who that guy was. That was not Cronkite, right? Yeah, no, it didn't look like Cronkite. I can't remember his face. He's just lashing out at everything and everyone now, and it's really disturbing.
Which professor was the one doing that?
I just can't say. Sorry. If they find out it was me, I'd have hell to pay. It's really gnawing at me. The abuse is only getting worse and worse from what I'm told. I've heard the works of fatigue, depression, exhaustion, and even a couple researchers fainting on the job. That whole department looks visibly shaken these days. The stress is just too much for them. I worry they'll all end up like Cindy. Cindy, what happened to her? She's at her breaking point, from what I hear. I hardly see her at the Institute anymore. We've all been trying to support her however we can, but it's rough. It really is.
Damn, yeah, that's not good. Who's the professor helping her, out of curiosity?
That would be Professor Esmeré. She's in the bioengineering department. She's known the world over for her cutting-edge research, a real upstanding woman. She's always up to her neck in her own work, though. She probably doesn't know the extent of the abuse at the other labs. Yeah, thanks for filling us in. This still helps us a lot.
Okay, thank you.
The other one's upstairs here, which I can't get to from here. Oh god, I just want to look. I don't want to use the map to... Yeah, I do really like this area. Okay, that's locked. There are bad vibes, for sure, but also very good vibes from the area itself.
Oh, I remember seeing you at the Orbital Cafe in Edith. I live over in Basel. Over here in Basel. I didn't expect to see you here, too.
Have we ever seen her?
My family lives over in the capital, so I'm out there a lot to visit, both to visit them and do my civil engineering research.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've seen her plenty. She was on her laptop talking about the subway infrastructure.
I'll be cooped up here for a while, though. I've got a big paper to finish up.
She's a student here, huh? We should try talking to her.
Can we talk?
The professor abusing their authority, you say? That's a bit of a stretch to me, not gonna lie. I can say for certain that Professor Cronkite and Professor Tane would never do that. It can't be them.
Oh, what makes you so sure of that?
Well, so Professor Cronkite's a man of few words, so he can come across as kind of scary. But he means well, really. I mean, he's one of the greatest minds of our time, and he lives and breathes science. And then Professor Tane is just really friendly to everybody. He's always looking out for people.
He didn't seem very negative.
He's known the world over for his work in civil engineering and urban planning.
Also, when he talked to him, he said that he was worried for another co-worker. So, wouldn't be an abusive professor.
The Basel Institute of Science certainly earns its reputation. Its faculties are all accomplished scientists and engineers in their own right. Yep, lots of famous people come to study and lecture here. Professor Callahan's a real celebrity too. He's a real whiz when it comes to mechanical engineering. He's the brains behind the military's new weapons. Last I heard, though, his new big proposal got shot down in favor of someone else's. He didn't really take that very well. But he's bounced back, from what I can tell. He's really putting his all into his new project. I'm really humbled to get to work with so many hardworking and talented people.
Hardworking and talented people can still be assholes. Are they good people, is what we're asking.
Could you maybe have phrased that a little less aggressively?
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. You're a big help. Okay, she didn't really make Callahan seem like a dick. I don't know. We gotta go see him. It's probably him. I bet he's in here. Library. Inventor. What's a library inventor? Oh, that's your name. If you need anything from me, I'll just be reading here. We do have plenty of papers here, though. I don't know enough about them to make any recommendations. Do handle them with care, though. They're very important papers.
Sounds like plenty of students and faculty come this way.
That tracks. Maybe he's overheard a word or two about the allegations.
Can we talk?
Huh? A power-tripping professor, you say? Well, if it were anybody, I'd put my money on Cronkite. I don't buy it. He's awfully quick to dismiss people. Haughty, in a word. Kind and helpful aren't exactly synonyms with him, at least from what I've seen and heard.
I see. Have you heard anything about any of the other professors that might relate to these allegations?
Let me think now. Well, I can't see Professor Arelli doing anything like that. She's just a bundle of sunshine. Not a mean bone in her body. That seemed like that. Sometimes I even see her in here picking up research materials for her students. Then there's Professor Callahan. He's always made a point of helping out his assistants. He's certainly not a bad person in my view, but he's gotten a bit of a bad rap after his work went south.
Thank you for sharing your experience with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay, now that kind of throws me off a little. All right, I think we've combed this area pretty well now. Let's go sit down somewhere and try piecing things together.
I recommend that open space in the front of the Institute grounds. I saw some benches there that we could use.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right, well, I think we're done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. Hey, it's the area I was... I wanted to go over to, but it just felt way too empty. I didn't even see the benches over here. All right, we about ready to sit down? Yeah. Well, that was pretty good. We got our hands on some nice info there.
We learned a lot of professors' names, too. There's Professor Callahan, the Engineering Science Authority, Professor Arelli in the Chemistry Department, Professor Cronkite, a well-respected expert in physics and orbital engineering, and Professor Tane, an architectural researcher.
And then there's Professor Esmere over in bio. They all sounded really capable, but of course the stat sheets don't tell the whole story. They all sounded like oddballs in their own right. I think we can pretty safely narrow down the perp to one of those 5.
I agree. We have pretty strong evidence to suggest that.
All right, let's take our evidence from the top then. All the people we talked to, all the testimonies, they all had one thing in common.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Well, I mean, no one named the abuser. Did they all try to downplay the abuse? Yeah, definitely not threatened. I don't think it would be threatened. Well, that one guy seemed like he was threatened, but not all of them. They wouldn't all have that in common, I don't think. No one named the abuser. That is what they have in common. God damn it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. They didn't name the abuser. I don't think everyone was threatened. I don't think everyone tried to downplay the abuse. Some people were a little more open. None of them named the abuser. I did have to look that one up, but not a single one named the culprit. Some of those guys knew who it was, but it kept sounding like they were too scared to name him. Would have made our jobs a hell of a lot easier if they just named the guy, but nope.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is kind of weird. I can understand not wanting to be labeled a snitch, but it felt like there was more to it than that. They were afraid of the culprit, but you could tell they respected them too. They didn't want to sully this professor's good name.
It's because the professor in question definitely was good, but since their work went south, it's got to be Callahan. And some people said that the guy wasn't always like that. Something changed them. Probably the conflict over that proposal we heard about. Something about hard feelings. One guy said that they had to crunch after that proposal fell through. Telltale sign of abuse to me.
That does seem likely, though we can't say for certain what changed the professor's behavior. That would be a reasonable explanation.
Yeah, it's 100% him then.
That said, no circumstance justifies such an abuse of power and status. This professor is truly incorrigible. So that's who you think the culprit is?
Yeah, you ask me, there's only one professor who fits the bill. Yeah, 100%. Callahan. Professor Callahan's our guy.
He's one of the foremost authorities on engineering science. Perhaps he's the smartest man in the whole field. I've seen him in the papers plenty of times so far. He's always described as a savant. Notably, he helped modernize the military's weapons and equipment.
But he's got revenge on his mind, sounds like. Some other professor one-upped him, and that's got him all pissed. And I get it sucks, but you'd think the world-renowned scientist would be less childish about it. You'd know a thing or two about acting like a child, wouldn't you? I don't know, you usually call me a grandpa. Which is it, bud?
Is now the time. So, what do we do now? We have all the recordings of the people we talked to.
Oh, I forgot we were even doing that.
That all points to Professor Callahan being the suspect.
So, what's our next move? Do we hunt down our client next and give them the tapes? Nah, I'm thinking we get Professor Callahan's opinion on it without accusing him directly. Nudge him in the right direction and he might just turn himself in.
What do you mean?
Simple. We tell him about these abuse rumors going around. We talk about all these exhausted students and he connects the dots on his own. Failing that, well, we already know it's him. He's bound to figure out his reputation's on the line the more he hears about it. If he's smart, he'll fess up. So, that's what we do. We give him a subtle little nudge, and he does all the work Elsyme wanted for us. 2 birds with 1 stone right there.
That sounds really scheming. I'm not so sure we're the good guys all of a sudden. Well, it is a quintessentially a spriggan-like way of solving the problem.
By me. To the Power Tripper's lab, then. Actually, where is it? I don't remember seeing it while we were taking our tour.
I suspect it's in the special research building. We'd need some form of clearance to enter, of course. We passed by a door with a guard in front of it earlier. They won't let an ordinary civilian inside. I suspect we would need an A-rank card at the very least.
It was hard enough for us to get C-rank cards. I think an A-rank one is off the table.
What should we do then? Maybe we wait for him to leave the building and ambush him?
Nah, old Van's the man with a plan. All that matters is we get inside that building. Doesn't matter how we do it. Being a spriggan, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Van, you're scaring me with that smile there. We defer to you. What's your strategy, Master Spriggan?
So first, we just roll on up to the building like anyone else would. Once we get there, we convince the guard to let us in. Just act natural and we're golden. What? That is not a plan. That is the worst plan. I can't wait for it to work. Wait. That's just the vending machine, right? No. No, we haven't been in this room. This is a cafeteria. Oh, I definitely knew I missed. I love that the scaling is a little better in this. Like the cafeteria in Cold Steel, actually in both of them is like so much smaller. This feels like a normal sized cafeteria for, the size of the building at least.
Today.
Kind of expensive. That's fine. Okay.
Thanks a bunch.
Hello there, and welcome to my kitchen. Everyone loves the food we serve here, or at least I thought they did. But we have had one poorly looking diner recently. He works in the special research building, and he's been eating a lot less lately. He looks terrible. He and his assistants always used to have these voracious appetites too. What happened to them?
Wow.
Sugar is popular among the researchers here. Eggheads need their glucose. We try to give them a healthy dose without going too overboard. We've been getting a lot of tired-looking visitors lately, though, too, so we're trying to make comfortable, easy-to-digest dishes for them.
So that's also related to Callahan. I said Cronkite.
I couldn't eat another bite.
Oh, man, wait. I hope that wasn't the thing I could have made. No, the thing I could have made is soup, but we didn't have beast essence. Right, sir, you're just gonna let us in. We're gonna use some sort of Emma magic here. Excuse me, is this where we can find Professor Callahan? We're here to speak with him. Right, yes. May I see your card, sir? Of course. Payne handed over his certification card. C rank. I'm sorry, but I can't let you in without the proper security clearance. If you don't mind me asking, what business do you have with him to begin with? Glad you asked. We're here on behalf of the Principality of Elsyme. We figured there was an appointment for us, but we just found out now they didn't set anything up. Sorry for the inconvenience. Wanted to inquire about Professor Callahan's new research. It's caught our investors' interest. His findings have seismic implications. Even the Zypha revolution would be small potatoes compared to this. So we looked into meeting with him and collaborating on his research. Only to learn that Marduk was interested in the same thing. So now we got ourselves a 3-way partnership here.
I am here on the Marduk Company's behalf. I'm a concierge in their employ. So, you're meeting with him to discuss a grant, is that right? I'm a bit surprised to hear about both Elsheim and Marduk are collaborating on this, but, well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. That said, who are these children with you? Surely they're not employees. Pardon? I'm not a kid, I'm just short. They're associates of the Elsheim VIP. Pardon them. They're here on Elsheim's behalf as well, so they were looking to sit in on our meeting. It's a little awkward, though. We came all the way from Elsheim just to get turned away at the door on a technicality. I'm not sure what to tell them when we get back home. I really am sorry. There's clearly been some kind of a mix-up here. Your arrangements might have been lost in the shuffle with the Artemis students visiting. You must have been issued the same rank card as them by mistake. I'll go clear this up with Professor Callahan. 1 minute, please. Of course, we'll be waiting. That's a funny thing to let him come to his own conclusion for. You sure you're okay with him calling your bluff? Of course. Who's he to turn down grant money? That ain't what we're really here for, but he just has to take the bait. Thank you for your patience. The professor would like to meet with you at once. Go right in. Thank you very much. Damn. I can't believe you managed to deceive your way past someone again. Hey, nothing I said was a lie. Not my fault if someone else takes what I said the wrong way. Bet you tell yourself that every single time, huh? Yeah, you must be a real pro at this. I mean, it's not something to be proud of. As your sudden embarrassment suggests. I wish you would at least stop to think about the bad influence you might be having on Fairy.
So you're trying to blame all of this on me, are you?
Not at all. I'm in no way trying to suggest your latest research is the cause. If anything, the approach you're taking with your latest project rather fascinates me.
Does it now?
That being said, work on my own project has reached a critical juncture. I cannot afford any issues with net traffic at this time.
That certainly sounds like blame to me, Cronkite. You may be one of Professor Hamilton's students, but that doesn't give you the right to...
So sorry for the delay? No. I'm assuming Van said that. Uh-oh? Who the devil are you? This is a restricted area, you know? Not to worry, we have permission to be here. Could either of you direct us to Professor David Callahan's office? Ah, so you're the ones I just heard about. We're finished here, Cronkite. Now, if you would all follow me...
Yang, Professor Cronkite and Callahan? Huh, funny running into you guys here.
Oh. Damn, every time it just says voice, I'm like, I don't know. Whoops.
He could say the same thing. How the hell did you get in?
Mr. Arkride, do you have business here? Quatre. What are you doing here, Salision? And who are these people with you?
They are students here on an educational visitation from the capital. I've been assisting them during their stay. Professor Cronkite was gracious enough to extend us an invitation to visit him when we happened to see each other in town. So we asked Mr. Salision if he could lead the way.
Oh, I do not believe I invited anyone but you, nor did I imply we should meet quite this soon. But I suppose chasing you away here would be more work than just humoring you. Very well, follow me.
Really?
It would be nothing short of incredible to see your work up close, Professor Cronkite. Huh.
Well, we'll get out of your hair now. We apologize for the interruption. I can see that you're very busy, but it would be a pleasure to speak more on another occasion, Professor Callahan.
Oh? I suppose that can be arranged.
Do you know him as well?
It must be nice to have enough free time to spend on such frivolous nonsense as educational visitations. Well, come with me. I want to make this brief. Of course, Professor.
Wait! I'd like to listen in on this conversation too, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
As their guide, I suspect it has everything to do with me.
Does it?
Take a 10-minute break. Do not return late.
Yes, Professor. Excuse us. Or zombies. Damn, that's a lot of servers. Callahan.
As you know, my name is David Callahan. I believe you're here to talk about Elsyme and Marduk investing in my research. That makes for a very interesting combination, if you don't mind me saying. What exactly led to this?
Is that what you were told? There seems to have been a misunderstanding then. We are currently working for Elsyme, and we do have a Marduk employee with us, but that's all. What? We're currently in the middle of an investigation, you see, and a lead has happened to bring us here. I wanted to follow up on a rumor that some extreme abuse of power has been taking place in the laboratory here. Wow, he's going right for it. That's the face of a guy who's got something to tell. Who asked you to investigate this? Couldn't tell you. Didn't leave their name. But they did tell us all about what's happening. Been happening. We've heard all about the ridiculous workloads and insane hours they and their colleagues have been forced to endure. About how they're never allowed to rest, are woefully underpaid, and how they receive vicious, constant verbal abuse from their superior. Even to the point that someone collapsed from overwork and has been driven to the brink of suicide. That's just... We have all the testimony and evidence we need to act if that's what it comes to. We thought it better to come and hear your thoughts first. Excuse me?
It's not too late to turn things around. So many people we spoke to were quick to say that you weren't always like this. They mentioned how they almost had trouble believing just what you'd become. We could see how afraid people are of you now and how they dislike what you've become. But at the same time, we could see how deeply they respect you, too.
We're not heroes of justice like the cops or the guild. We're just about finding common ground and putting things to right. As long as you're willing to work with us, we can... That is enough. Don't talk to me about respect and then immediately resort to blackmail. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me?
How could you say that?
You know, you've got evidence of what you're doing, right? You sure you want to pick this fight? Do what you will with your evidence. All I have to do is cover it up. And no one's going to believe some lowly assistants over an esteemed professor.
Professor?
I am 2 mere steps away from completing my research, and they pick now to sabotage my efforts? Very well. Then damn the human cost. I'll start working them to the bone to make up for their...
Just listen to yourself, Professor! What has gotten into you? You used to be so kind and supportive. Professor Hamilton held you in such high regard.
Did he hire us?
Even though I was one of her students, you would still take the time to look after me. I just can't understand why all you do lately is spit in the face of her achievements.
Quatre, I suspected as much.
Sorry, that's a private matter between us. But please, at least stop and think about how you're treating the people who work under you. They took their positions because they dreamed of being like you. Don't belittle them or their work.
Salision. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, you third-rate apprentice!
We're recording all of this. You're just digging a deeper hole.
Quatre, what do you think you're doing?
Listen, asshole.
You're talking to the famous David Callahan. the preeminent scholar of engineering science and military technology, who has long upheld the very foundation of this nation's national defense. I've had enough of youngsters like Cronkite and Esmeralda acting like they're above me after all I've achieved.
Youngsters.
My latest research will propel Calvert to even greater heights, change the power balance of the entire continent. Why can no one understand just how much of a privilege it is to help with that?
Professor.
Well, you're free to have whatever lofty goals you want. I think we've had our 10 minutes, don't you?
Oh.
We came here to explain the situation and offer a solution we thought would benefit everyone. You're welcome to try and cover up all the evidence and testimonies we've gathered, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be easy. If you're as close to this revolution as you claim to be, then I'd give it another thinking through if I were you. I'm done wasting time with you. I'll be raising the issue of your illegal trespassing and appalling brazenness to Mr. Tossend. I admit I may have been a little too harsh. You slapped him for no reason. But as long as you intend to cling to Professor Hamilton instead of aiming for something more, I have no interest in you. Unless you now see the benefits of developing your talent under me, after all. I would wager that would be far better use of your time than waiting like a little girl for an old woman who's long gone.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Quatre. Pardon us.
Not a good man. Well, I mean, maybe he was, but this current iteration, definitely not a good man.
Like a little girl.
There you are.
So this is what it looks like inside, huh?
It's so cool seeing the observatory. Is that the telescope?
That's right. Professor Hamilton had it specially made.
Nope, that was it.
I'm sorry you had to witness that earlier, but I'm impressed you knew where to find me.
Just had a feeling. We're happy to forget what we saw as long as you forget about us forcing our way into the research building.
Van, behave. You can go ahead and have a seat over there. I'll go make us some tea. So, there aren't actually any astronomy professors here? Not at the moment. I'm the only one who comes here every day right now. But there was a time when quite a few researchers and students who all adored Professor Hamilton would come. Even Professor Callahan would from time to time. Oh! He never used to be like he is now. He's always seen Professor Hamilton as a rival, sure, but it used to be the friendly kind of rival that was beneficial to both sides. He taught me so much, too.
I have a feeling this is just related to the Genesis and maybe not the Genesis, but Almada doing something nonsense. Maybe not, though. This seems like normal. He just screwed up and got a little crazy because of it, but somehow they're related. They influenced him. Actually, I'm pretty sure Almada is going to be related to the devices being all flickery and going out.
He really must have changed then.
Yeah, from that to the uptight abusive asshole we saw earlier, some kind of fall.
Professor Hamilton left the Republic 2 years ago, if I recall.
And you're one of her students?
That's right. I owe more to her than I can ever hope to repay. I've been looking after the observatory and her house since she left the country. Though I think it's debatable whether I'm doing a good job of it. The CEO of Vern, Mr. Tossend, is also one of the directors on the Institute's board. And he told me he's considering shutting this place down because so few people are using it.
Oh no! So that's what you've been doing, all kinds of miscellaneous tasks to score points with him?
That's awful. I really am sorry about earlier, though. I ended up interfering with your investigation by jumping in, didn't I? If I hadn't said anything... Don't sweat it. We ended up getting some useful info out of that whole outburst. My guess is you've noticed this by now, too. But his piss-poor attitude isn't the only bad thing going on with him. You really think so? I have the same feeling. It would explain why someone so respected has stooped to such irrational behavior. It feels like the question is, what is he trying to do that he's willing to go so far off the deep end for? Good question. The computer hardware in his laboratory was state-of-the-art. I suspect he's using it to perform vast calculations, the kind that would be equally difficult to properly manage. I agree. I've never seen a simulation of this extent before, and it seemed even that wasn't enough to get the results he wanted. He couldn't be. No, that would... I see now. You do? Well, we'd better keep an eye on that guy for a while. We ain't in Basel for that long, but we're gonna be here for the next couple of days at least. Feels like we can afford to scratch each other's backs a bit, yeah? Whether that CEO wants us to or not. All right, I do have my doubts about you, but I believe that Agnes is worthy of my trust. So if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know, to keep what the professor left behind safe, if nothing else. You could trust Fairy as well. Definitely not Aaron, though. You can't trust him. Nothing comes from not being honest with yourself, you know? We'll be counting on you, Quatre. Sure, seems like he's being honest with himself to me. Not trusting you is the right call. No, you are very much in the same boat with how boorish you are. Excuse me? You trying to pick a fight, kiddo? That's only proving my point, you know. You want to use it? Are you interested in the telescope? I was wondering what it's like, that's all. It's only just past 5 o'clock, so we won't be getting a great view of the stars quite yet. But come with me, you might still be able to get a good view of the Great Shader Triangle. Really? Yay! Aw. Of course the two kids of the group would hit it off. I guess Fairy is, 13 and he's 14, so... And Agnes is 15? I thought he was closer to Agnes, but they are almost the same age. Everyone's so different. You're also still a damn kid from my perspective. Van, you are a child in my perspective. By the way, Agnes, is it just me, or did you seem surprised by something when that professor was shouting up a storm? It wasn't just you. Cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Oh, I completely just brushed that off. I give them a golden chance to help me, and this is how they choose to repay me. Oh, they didn't show us that. I was gonna say, like, he mentioned an assistant, and it went to Agnes, and I was like, okay, does that mean I should be looking for someone specific on that end? One of the assistants one of his assistants might be part of Almada then. No. The assistant is clearly related to the Genesis, and almost all the Genesis have been related to Almada, so... No, they couldn't like long-term one of their members into his assistant category, right? I mean, they could. So it picked then of all times to shine. It's not doing it now, though. Do you think it could just be a coincidence? You gotta wonder. Not like it'd be the first time it's shown at an odd time, like when we first ran into Grimcat. That's because she has one,
Whoa,
I swear.
What's this room for?
Grimcat has one.
Odette? What brings you all here? Found you! We've been looking for all of you. We couldn't find you anywhere in the main building, so we wondered if you might be here.
Sorry for putting you guys out.
Well, not all of us are here for you.
So this is their giant telescope.
I've seen one in the Imperial Museum too, but it's so cool.
Oh, can we take a look through it?
No, fairy first.
It's nice seeing this place this lively again. It's been so long.
No. No, boy. No, and then we take off. Wait. Isn't he staying at Hamilton's house? Why wouldn't he come back with? I guess it's only 6. He's probably still got stuff to do. I really hope he's a party member. He seems like an interesting character. So far, everyone has been, though. I want everyone to be a party member. Except maybe Albert. Odette, you can join, though. Well, we'll be going back to our hotel now. Sure thing. Try not to stay up too late, just because no one's keeping an eye on you. That telescope was amazing, though, wasn't it? I wish we could have had another look through it before we left. How about you come and walk around with us on the last day, Fairy? We'd love to have you. Really? Your work sounds amazing, so I'd like that a lot. I'll just leave playtime to the kids, then. I'm more in the market for a place catered to adults. Hell, you want to join in on the fun, Four Eyes? I would never go to such a place. Hey, I watched Golden Blood Director's Cut with you. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun in its own way. It was nice to finally meet the famous Rosette, too. Maybe we could talk some more. Oh, yes, I would like that very much, indeed. Yay. Oh. That was just do you want to? Not what is she doing? I thought like she was making a call there or something. Why are you always wearing a headset? Oh, yay, then it's happening. Just like Igus. Did you notice? Yeah, you managed to learn anything on your end? I'm afraid not. We heard something interesting from that genius professor, but that's about it. I'm not going to have much free time here, however, so I'm going to have to leave it to that nose of yours this time. Dumping all the work on me, huh? Great. Ah, here's the tram. Then we bid you all farewell. Did you notice what? We should be able to meet you tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock. I know it's a little early for good nights, but I hope you all have a good one, or have one, regardless. Same to you. See you tomorrow. Sleep tight. Whatever Ren was telling him is definitely another player has to guess, or player has to wait to know, I think. So, what's eating away at you, phony maid? Is something up? Can't hide a thing from him. Oh.
I should have realized I wouldn't be able to keep my concerns a secret. To tell you the truth, I'm getting a peculiar sense of deja vu from what's happening here in Basel.
Deja vu? Your main job's being a concierge, but you also handle crisis management all over the country, right? So, which does this Orbal Net and Distribution Network issue make you think of more? The Burl 6 years ago or Crossbell 4 years ago? Yeah, okay. I was waiting for them to bring up the...
You're proving perceptive and knowledgeable beyond belief.
Clearly. I'm sure the Genesis is just similar to the artifact for Orbal shutdown phenomenon. I'm sure I've heard of both of those things before, but... Yeah, I think Sal's mentioned them at some point too. The former was when all Orbal power was shut off by the appearance of an ancient floating city. The latter was when the Orbal network was used to perform a man-made miracle. Wait, it's been so long I forgot the appearance was the cause. I never witnessed him firsthand, so there's a lot of gaps in what I know.
but both were caused by things you wouldn't think could exist. Man, I think you'd made both events up if I didn't know better. I know what happened a year and a half ago in Crossbell, and that's just as batshit crazy on paper. Oh, when the whole continent was hacked, or whatever the word is?
I'm afraid I can't answer most of your questions because they would contain classified information.
I can't spoil you because you could go back and play Reverie.
However, I believe this may end with a crisis different from the ones that Mr. Arkride mentioned.
Huh. Well, Miss Perfect's Genesis started glowing again. There's bound to be something. No way this thing ends without giving us a headache. Yeah, we're gonna need to be ready for trouble. You gotta head out somewhere now, right? I'll come with you if you want.
Again, you are perceptive beyond belief.
We might have only met in person recently, but I've known you for a real long time now. Whenever you stumble on a major problem brewing, you gotta report it to HQ, right?
Correct. What is happening here certainly falls under Code E of our regulations. But I see no harm in having someone with me during my report. We could also patrol the area at the same time. Does that sound all right?
That sounds like nighttime exploration again. More than all right. Let's get going. But wait! Not just you two here, you know? Don't even think of leaving us out. I don't mind taking one of you, but the other's gonna have to stay behind. Someone will need to be available if Anyas or that boy we met decide to call. Right, that makes sense. Fine, then come on, who are you taking? No. I don't want to leave Ferry alone. Aaron can handle himself. He's probably... Yeah. I'm sorry, Aaron. Logically, I have to take the little girl. So, where do you have to go to give your report? Your company's headquarters isn't even in Calvard, is it? There's a bit of a process involved for security reasons. For starters, we need to leave the city towards the canyon. Oh. This needn't take priority over any other work you would like to do, however. I see now. Got it. We'll head over once we've walked around a little then. Huh. Wait, why is main store... Oh, take the car when you're ready to go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Sure. We have a lot of updates to do then. I'll probably do just one area, and then we'll do the other two areas and the side quest in the next episode. We'll see. We'll see how long this actually takes, but definitely gonna be a minute. Professor Hamilton is an inspiration to us all, but it's kind of strange. She doesn't feel distant or unapproachable at all. She's kind and cheerful, despite her stature. Even the more crotchety artisans can't help but respect her. I just worry about her sometimes. She's very determined, very headstrong, and that does sometimes put her at odds with others. Young Quatre looks up to her an awful lot. He may very well grow up to be just like her. Why did everyone make her seem like villainous with the images in the previous game? Hold on, I probably can't find it, but I found it. Okay, this is the picture that I keep referencing because, or thinking of when I'm talking about her looking villainous. I'm totally crazy. She's not the villainous one. This seems a little more villainous. I don't know why, but they all seem very angry, except for, you know, he doesn't look that angry. Schmidt looks pissed, but she looks very young here. We know that she's old now, so yeah. This must have been a very late flashback. I forgot where they mentioned it. It was during Ren's daydream for Daybreak, I believe. Yeah, I think that's when this popped up, and I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't know why. I don't know why it popped in my head, but it did. Okay, so I take it back. She was kind of smiling there. She might actually just be a kind soul, and I'm crazy. We've been having some power issues lately, so my boss told me to look into it.
I thought it might be a problem with the wiring here at the shop, but nope, everything looks fine on our end. It's really stumping me. What's going on?
Alrighty.
I don't know. I don't know how this one's gonna go. Long day. I've had my son on my mind. Grover. It was a G. I want to talk to him when I get home, but what do I even say? He's studying over at the Institute of Science these days, but we couldn't disagree more on engineering. He's big on innovating, finding the new big thing, but me, I'm more of a traditional guy. I take pride in the family art I've inherited. I'm not trying to pressure him to take over the shop, but I think he's hearing me that way. It's a puzzle, I tell you. Yeah, you guys are just misunderstanding each other. He thinks that you want to take over, you think that... I don't know. I'm really glad I was able to help my dad today. I want to start pulling out my own weight. Dad? He used to just do grocery runs when people would need it, but now they're busier than ever. They really appreciate it now. They really look busy today. Maybe I should try to make some lunch someday. I think they'd like that. Who's your dad? Oh, it's probably Eugen. Eugen? I thought you'd have called it for the day. Hard workers you lot are, huh? Just between you and me, keep an eye on Quatre, will ya? You shouldn't have to take on all that responsibility at his age, if you ask me. It's like he's never got to be a kid. Seeing him all stressed out and overworked just makes me sad, as an old geezer with none of that youth left. I hear ya. What's Quatre crunching for? He shouldn't have to stay so late at the Institute. I guess it's important to him. He wants to follow in the professor's footsteps with all his research there. Just... I ain't making the kids wait, but this deadline is non-negotiable. Speaking of kids, I hear Milia was up to something earlier today. Most of the time, she's a model daughter. She helps me with the shopping, the cooking, and the cleaning. But every now and then, I hear just the strangest things about what she's up to. I can't deny it worries me sometimes. We haven't done anything. Careful up there, Rael. I really want to see the machine from up there too, but everyone says it's too dangerous, so I gotta wait. When I'm older, I'm gonna work here like Rael does, and then I can see all the cool stuff I want. Good, we can go up here. Phew, I think we're almost done for the day. I hate making Nat wait like that. I really am glad I started working here, though. I remember being scared half to death over how I'd handle the pressure. It's been really tough work, for sure. But it's so rewarding. I can feel myself getting better day by day. Plus, I've made friends with Quatre and so many others. That is everyone over here. Oh, I guess we can actually go in here now. The whole city's been having these weird network issues lately. Our online ordering system is bugging out too. I was in a panic the first time it happened. I thought I'd messed up a line of code or something, and if I did, my sister would have had my head. Thankfully, it wasn't me, but it's still a problem. I'll have to see if I can reduce the server load at all. Maybe that'd help. Barnaby. I get it's a tough job, I really do. But damn it, how am I supposed to tell my bosses? It's their deadline and production quotas we're working with. Oh, this is the guy who was outside of the aerotram, I believe. Oh, we've seen you around once or twice. You're that project owner, right? You got it rough too, huh? You know, I'm thinking maybe we could vent a bit tonight. Maybe it'll be easier for you to talk about your stuff outside your usual crowd. You guys are... Yeah, look, I hate how I'm always forcing you to do this and stick to that. I hate telling you how to do your job. I don't want you to make you bend over backwards any more than you want to hear it. But I can't say no to the higher-ups, you know that? What they say goes.
Nah, we hear ya. It's not like we have the free reign over our work either. I remember getting earfuls from my supervisor all the time when I started out, always telling me to do this differently or do that better. You've all been there, bud. We don't hold it against you. You're just trying to put food on the table like everyone else. Bureaucracy is just a part of business. The bigger you try to be, the more it'll drag you down. You really mean it? I had you guys all wrong this whole time. I'm sorry, man. You mind having a few more rounds with me? Sure thing, buddy. Nothing calms me down like a glass of the cold stuff. This seems like a very natural bar conversation. All this time, I thought the artisans had a one-tracked mind. Stubborn old mules going on and on about their craft. But my bosses are the same, thinking about it. It's all profit margins and productivity quotas with them. Dude, you got some good food there. I want some of that. He is knocked out. Oh, it's Melise. This cafeteria is a bit on the noisy side. But then, so is Basil. It fits the city, no? Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad. And I can't complain when the beer tastes this good. It really does taste better when you're drinking for yourself instead of having to schmooze with clients. That's fair. And since my company's paying the tab, I can drink as much as I want. Guilt-free drinks are the best drinks. Oh boy. As you can see, this place is pretty popular with the artisans once they're off the clock. They all come in looking exhausted. No wonder they need pick-me-ups for tomorrow. The previous owner would always take care of them really well. He always knew what they needed. I hope I'm doing the same for them.
Don't take too long to decide now. Come back soon.
That is what it was. Okay.
Man.
So,
Gotta be me.
this is called black vinegar soup. Therefore,
That's some bachelor cooking.
the thing I can buy from her is different.
Don't take too long to decide now. Come back soon.
I'm gonna eat both of them and we're gonna level up.
I'm stuffed.
ATS 25. Holy shit. That's a big boost.
I'm stuffed.
All right. You know what? I'm just gonna eat. I'm just gonna get out of the way. I need to have it checked off. All right. Upstairs. Well, I guess staying home and taking the job off isn't so bad. Lets me do what I want without a certain killjoy breathing down my neck. Might be nice to crack open a cold one downstairs. If you need me for anything, just give me a call. Yeah, I think I made the right call there. He's right at the bar. He'll be happy. Nope. Basil is home to many a skilled artisan, and that draws demand from all around the globe. But in some ways, we actually have too many. It can make picking the right one difficult, especially for the uninitiated client. That's where I come in. I act as a consultant to help clients pick the workshop that's right for them. It's funny, really. I used to be an engineer, but I hardly do any engineering myself anymore. I hear ya. Oh, and I forgot to turn in that quest. Where's our room? That one.
Gotta keep this up.
Ooh. 2 more quests and we'll level up. I'm almost done with today's deliveries. Looks like I'll be putting in overtime, though. A lot of late dinner orders today. Once I'm done with work, I can finally get my own dinner, and then it's off to bed to get ready for tomorrow. Lather, rinse, repeat, eh? Granny always cooks for me at the end of the day. I really appreciate it. She's such a good person, man. Okay.
Why not stay here and relax?
I love taking in the breeze here at night. Calms me down. I don't make it a point of coming out here regularly, though. I just make the trip whenever my heart wants to. There's this professor at the institute who comes by here, and I swear, he's always a step ahead of me.
I sort of wander around a lot without really thinking about where I'm going. So how does he always know where I end up?
Do you have any preferences? Thanks for coming in.
How did you get up here? You drive up the stairs? I'm finally done for the day. Gonna grab a bite to eat and then veg out for the evening. The machinery I see these days is absolutely nuts. How do they manage it all? Transmitters, processors, storage devices, you name it, I've seen it. They've got it. I can feel myself getting older just looking at them. The world's moving too fast for me, I swear. Same here. Go upstairs first. I see. So astronomy originated in the Central East. That it did. To our understanding, astronomy came westward in the Middle Ages as trade and cultural exchange began to blossom. The University of Elsheim can trace itself back to that age too, and that cultural exchange gave rise to the natural sciences as well. I see. I've never had much interest in hard sciences, but that is interesting to hear. It feels relatable, I guess, to hear that they were human inventions too. That's good to hear. If you're curious about anything else, I would be happy to help. Sister Paula seemed very nervous when she first arrived, but I can see that she's settling into her role well. I do plan to help teach her some more, and if and when I get the chance. I've never held much interest in the sciences, but they do seem more relatable to me now. Maybe it won't feel so foreign anymore when the congregation talks about them.
Very well.
Sure. I don't really care about religion stuff or the politics and that. It just I'll read it though. I'll read it and I'll absorb it, but I won't care. I was an artisan here up until about 10 years ago, and in that time, I saw the whole world evolve around me. From big machines to tiny little orbits, life has changed a ton. For the better, I'd say. We live a lot easier than we used to. But we fight harder, too. Warships, railway guns, those Panzer soldats. I worry one of these days we'll make something truly terrible. Something that'll doom us all. Technically, you already have, and it's gone now, but there'll be more. Oh, there's someone at the mine? Okay, is there anyone up here? There's the gate. Yeah, no, there's no one up here. Okay, gotcha. Go over to the mine first. Holy, navigating this city is hard when you're just hard staring at the mini-map. What the hell are you? So this way leads down a mine, does it? That would make an excellent backdrop for a game, but, nah, it's probably too dangerous down here. Oh, Percy, right. We did the walk around Edith doing clues quest for him, because he made a game. Hide-and-seek game. What are you up to there? Random-ass place to be hanging around. Oh, you came. Thank you so much for helping me out again. Wait, what? How do you mean? Oh, and you're the puzzle game guy, aren't you? What are you doing out here in Basel this late at night? My request? Are you not here for it then? You had a... Oh, sorry, I'd never even noticed. That's on me for not checking properly. Just don't worry about it. I'm working on a new mystery game right now, and I thought a nice dark setting like this would be perfect for it. I'm recruiting testers right now, actually. I put in a request for you in the hopes you'd be able to help out again. I'd really appreciate it if you could lend me a hand. If you'd like, I can explain it to you and we can go from there. Works for me. I worked with a really bright friend of mine on this concept, so if I can iron out the kinks, I'm sure it'll be a hit. You'll solve a series of puzzles, all while using this special gimmick that fit Basil hand in glove. Oh, what kind of gimmick? Well, that would have spoiled the fun if I just told you. Here, have this leaflet. Let's see here.
Urgent message from HQ. Catch the rogue hacker on the loose in Basel. HQ will track the target's movements and relay them to you. All transmissions will be sent in code to avoid leaking information. Decode the messages and apprehend the hacker. Secret agents, huh? All right, I'll bite.
And decode our messages And decoding our messages forms the puzzle aspect of the game.
Okay. Exactly. Sounds fun, right? I think we really knocked this out of the park with this one. So, what do you think? Interested in giving it a shot? I am. I'm gonna hold off until next episode. We're interested, but we don't have the time right now. Got some other stuff to take care of, sorry. I understand though. If you get time, you know where to find me. Right, at least we know what we're gonna be doing. It sounds good. We only have 3 more people to talk to anyway. Gowland. These grid issues are getting even worse. It's really starting to bug me. I took a look around the city just to make sure it wasn't some kind of wiring issue. Sure enough, it isn't. No fraying, no deformations, no nothing. Whatever the problem is, it's not something new parts would fix. Yeah, it's just a Genesis probably, causing everything to go haywire. Oh, I was wondering about you, Van. I take it you got called out here to investigate all these events yourselves? Those suspicious sightings did garner a lot of attention. Pretty much, yeah. You sound like you're well up on the issue yourself. Indeed, that's partly why I called Alvis and Regina here. It could all be just a big load of nothing, so we can't set aside too many men for it, but better safe than sorry. I did want to ask for your opinion on all this, given that you've had a fair share of run-ins with Almada yourself. Tell me about it. My take, it's just too early to tell. Not enough to go on here. I get that. Thanks for your input. If anything does happen, please let us know. I've told the others to cut you some slack at any rate. I don't exactly have the intuition for this yet, but even I could tell something isn't right here. With everything that's happened these last few months, we can't just write off leads and oddities anymore. I might have to loop back with Blanca and get her perspective on things. Sure. Alvis? Where's Alvis? You didn't tell me where Alvis is, right? No.
Basil's deceptively big is the thing. I like to set a quota of 10 cases a day just to maintain a steady pace. Man, you're really on top of things. Come to think of it, you used to be in the fire department, didn't you? I did. I learned some valuable skills on the job. They'd still come in handy today. It's a tough job. Basil's full of factories and other heavy industry. Fire hazards are abundant. Every second counts with those places. A moment's hesitation can mean the difference between saving a life and losing one. That's how I learned to be swift and decisive on the job. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of second guessing. I see. I'll bear that in mind. Blanca's just so skilled as a bracer, and she's a wonderful person, too. I hope to be just like her one day. I've got a long way to go before I compare to her. Did Alvis head off on patrol? Yeah, he went out earlier. Once he's done, I'll start my rounds. It's a shame he couldn't have let you do your rounds first so you could hit the hay earlier. How inconsiderate. He'd have scored brownie points with you if he said ladies first. I guess.
Alrighty.
Right. That's it. Oh, wait, what was that? God, it keeps looking like one of those white dots turns yellow when I close the map. And I'm like, wait, did I miss one? No, I didn't. Okay, so in the next episode, I'm going to do this quest right away. And then we're going to look at the other places after. Shouldn't take too long, but I think the whole episode is probably going to be that and then main story at the very end of it. I think we'll be able to fit it all, depending on how long this dude's game takes. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Let me know if you like it, and I will see you in the next one.